We are live. Okay, here we go. So, thank you very much for having me out today. So today I'm going to be interviewing Don Caracallo and Fenar, who work with New Horizons Rehabilitation Centers. So, first up, I'd like to say thank you very much for being here today, and I'm honored to have the opportunity for us to be on the very first podcast and the first of
Thank you for having us.
We're honored as well.
We are honored.
God. And I'd like to mention that I am going to be speaking at the New Horizons annual event in October 7th. It is going to be an awesome event, so that's how we got connected. So,
Yes.
I'd like to start with Fenar, and I'd like you to tell us more about what you do, and how you got to where you're at today, and what you do.
Absolutely. So thank you again for having us. My name is Fenar Mays. I have been with New Horizons for almost 5 years now. I grew up in Rochester. I went to Oakland University, and I have a degree in marketing with a minor in business administration. I have worked at other nonprofits, and I worked for for-profits. But New Horizons is just different because of what we do. You know, we help individuals with disabilities gain employment, competitive employment, or some job coaching along with the employment. And it's just humbling. You know, you hear that all the time. It might be cliche to hear that, but it truly is humbling to see the barriers that these individuals break and what they can do every day. And that's what New Horizons has been doing for 56 years now. We started New Horizons in 1964 with just a small group of parents, and then expanded into this wonderful organization with 4 different branches, different locations in Southeast Michigan. And to date, from our annual awards, or annual report, we've served over 2,000 individuals just within the year. So we're very proud of that. We're proud of our organization. And I'll pass it over to Don.
That's absolutely wonderful, because as somebody with a disability myself, there are always so many different challenges that we all face, and I think sometimes some of us take those difficulties for granted as normal hearing. In your case, normal hearing individuals. For somebody like me, who's deaf, who could also other people with disabilities, it's very challenging to find proper employment, and there are obviously barriers to get to that point. I think you guys do a wonderful job with that.
Thank you very much.
So, Dawn, what about you?
Yes, so hi, I'm Dawn Caracallo, Director of Public Relations with New Horizons, and I've been with New Horizons for about 12 years now. And I actually started off as a job coach. I was introduced through working with the school program out in Holly Schools, and I just fell in love with it. Working with the students at the time, we were doing some work experience out in the community. And like Fenar said, it's truly humbling, because they are so motivated and so positive despite any barriers that they have. And so I really enjoyed it. And from there, I kind of furthered and became a case manager, worked out in our Davisburg location for 5 years, met some great people and friends that I keep in touch with. And then later became the Director of Public Relations over at the corporate office in Auburn Hills, and I love it. We have the pleasure of not only representing the people that we serve, but engaging with the community and really enlightening the community about the people we serve, and that they are just like everybody else and just need the same opportunities. We need the doors opened, and we just really have to all work together as a community to really make people aware of the contributions and the advantageous benefits of hiring people with disabilities. So Fenar and I have been really working to do that between her social media posts and us belonging to over 12 different chambers throughout Southeast Michigan.
Yeah.
We really am trying to engage the business world and let them know who we are and what we're doing, and to give our individuals a chance, like you said, to open a door to show their talents and abilities. They work really hard, and we help at New Horizons to train and kind of position them for job skills that they're looking for and that the employers are looking for.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Here's my question for Dawn. you mentioned working with disabilities and whatnot. Can you elaborate on, give us an example of somebody with a disability, and obviously they come to you guys, and you guys have to kind of listen to what they have going on, and obviously you have to be present at that moment when they are talking to you, talking about their stories of how they got to where they are, literally right in front of you. So my
Sure.
question to you is, how do you navigate that? Part one. Part two, I want to know some examples of different disabilities so that
Sure.
viewers know maybe a little more detail of who to work with.
Yeah, sure. For one memory I have in particular was actually a gentleman who won an award at the ceremony you're going to be speaking at in October, but he had previously won an award. This gentleman was also happened to be born deaf, but he had a college education. He just couldn't get his foot in the door. He was running into barriers. So we have a team of employment specialists. And we usually get the referrals for these individuals from Michigan Rehabilitation Services, also the Bureau of Blind Persons. And so he came to us through a referral and worked with our employment specialist, and they ended up getting him a job at Quicken Loans. And he just excelled. I mean, they just embraced him there. He helped with the culture there. He was such a positive influence. And so he was awarded at one of our ceremonies one year. So he's somebody that pops in mind. There's so many different types of disabilities. We run the scope of all different types, autism, a developmental, cognitive, everything in between, brain injuries. There's folks.
Jump in, Don, real quick.
Yeah.
So individuals, when they get referred, they also go through our evaluation department, and they get, at that point, our evaluation department asks these individuals, what are your interests? What do you want to do? And then that's their time to tell their story, those individuals, to say, this is what we want, look for our strengths, this is our weaknesses, and customize a job for us that we can succeed in. So that's what our staff does at this point. It's fantastic.
And it's true. And, we often tell, yes, we're a nonprofit, we're a charitable organization, but separate from that, when our employment specialists and staff are going to get jobs for these individuals, that is not charity. That is giving you a client that we feel is experienced enough, has enough skill for that particular job opening. We don't want the employers to have to feel like they're doing a charitable thing. We want them to know we're actually giving you a qualified candidate. So that's what we're trying to give the messaging to these businesses. So.
And these people are essential to an inclusive workforce. I mean, that's what businesses want, the diversity, the inclusion. This is the population who we serve is who you want. And and they're amazing. They show up on time for work. They have excellent work ethic. They're excited. And they make other, colleagues excited to be there while they're working.
So true.
Yeah.
The vibe of what you guys have described is phenomenal. And from my experience, I've had multiple different jobs through the years. And I always say that from the time I graduated Michigan State to the time I started my cross from Bloomfield, it took me 10 years of trying so many different positions. And I want people to understand that that's okay, because back in the day, most people, our parents, our grandparents would work for these companies, 20, 30, and 40 years and would retire. And obviously nowadays, everything's changed, even more so with COVID and all of that. And on that same token, have you noticed any trends in the last 5 to 10 years of some of the barriers and some of the maybe some of the positive and negative things you've noticed? Whoever wants to go ahead.
Sure. I mean, from my aspect of it, because I did the marketing and social media, I've noticed, I feel like people are more open-minded now about individuals with disabilities. They don't even want to use that term anymore, for that matter. They are able-bodied individuals. And it's true. So it's what we promote our nonprofit. We promote the success stories, the successes of what's happening and what is taking place. Because if another person sees a success story on our social media page or on our website, or comes to our annual awards ceremony where these people are being awarded and presented for what they've accomplished, they'll say, hey, if they could do that and they've accomplished that much, I
Yeah.
can do that too.
Yeah.
So I feel like the trend is just optimism, encouraging, more open-mindedness, and welcoming from what I've seen.
That's fabulous. Yep,
Yeah, it is.
fabulous. I love it. So let's talk about a couple of different events you guys have coming up. We have a couple of different things. I've got the at the bottom. There's a link to the event also on our Facebook page and the LinkedIn page. I've got all the information with the flyer and everything for the auction. If you want to go ahead and expand on that, please.
Yeah, we just want to tell everyone we've been doing a large charity auction for 31 plus years. Last year, of course, like everyone else, we had to go virtual at the last minute, and we did, and it was successful. And this year, we're planning a virtual again to be safe for all our guests. As he had said, the link is down below, but you can go to our webpage too, to our events page. We ask that if you can in any way, whether it's a small donation, whether you buy one of our Dream Vacation raffle tickets, it's a great prize to go to a real cool spa and golf package to Arizona. Or if you want to donate an item for us to sell at our auction, that would be gratefully appreciated. Or if you just want to register, which we'd really like you to do, and join us for our live auctions, it could be Friday, April 23rd. And this is, again, one of a very important fundraiser. We raise money for our programs and services. And I just want to leave a note that as per our last audit with Baker and Tilly, 90 cents of every dollar donated goes directly to program and services. And that is something we are proud of and can make you feel confident that you are really making a difference. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Good. Anything else you want to add in there?
I just want to say it's a fun event. Like, this is our first, well, we did it last year, but this is our first time that we actually have a live auction with our English auctioneer for the auction. And he's a great guy. I'll do a plug for him. His name is Charles Wickens. And so we're excited for that because we're going to have an actual live stream. Don and I will be there. The auction will be there. We have some cool sports memorabilia that has been donated and other pet vacation packages to bid on. So we're hoping, people will register. It's $40 to register for the auction. You'll get 2 tickets to our scratch-off lottery tree that you could possibly win, and see over 50 silent items and about 12 live items. So it's just a fun time, and it's safe. You're at home. You don't have to worry about that. Pour yourself a drink.
Yep.
But that's the thing. Think about the vernacular that we are using nowadays because of everything that's been going on in the world, and we are all three of us, including everybody else, including these potential employees who are trying to find positions. We all have to kind of help each other out to really find that employment and yet alone navigate so many different new obstacles. And that's kind of it's a challenge. It's a challenge for all of us. Couple more questions here. I'll start with Don. What brings you joy? Obviously, we talked a lot about that, but I want to get a little bit deeper. What brings you joy, whether when you're at work or at home? My question is, at the end of the day, when you look back at that day, what makes you satisfied?
Yeah. So again, when I was working as a case manager with the caseload of individuals that I was working with, that was really the best experience. Not only did I learn about individuals with disabilities, because I didn't have any understanding prior to, I came from the corporate world. It really enlightened me to their capabilities and, most importantly, their hearts. Once you befriend them, it's lifelong friends, and that is no joke. They are the most loyal people ever, and I feel the same. So I still go visit my friends back at the Davisburg branch, and there's friends at all of our locations, of course, but I have a special place in my heart for that, and that truly brings me joy. It's, again, cliche, but working for a mission is a whole different ballgame. Like Fenar said, her and I came from a different corporate world into a nonprofit world, and really that is what motivates you. It's a good feeling at the end of the day, and it's really positive to tell other people. You feel so good about it,
Exactly. It's a story, it's a wonderful story. It's awesome, Don. I was just thinking, like, when we when we go out to a job site, for example, to do some sort of success story. Like Don and I, just a month ago, maybe went to Old Navy, where a job site, and we were watching the individual, interact with the other people there and having fun and being proud of his position and his job, and is so excited to show Don and I what he did, and we're recording him, and he's smiling and happy. I mean, that's what it is at the end of the day. It's you're enjoying yourself, you're enjoying life and your job, and we enjoy our jobs, and we come home because we can have a fun time at work, a humbling time at work. You come home to love, and it's just a wonderful feeling to bring that home and teach your kids, hey, this is the world now, no more of this bullying and the nonsense of what you hear everywhere. It's just feel good stuff that you can share with other people. So it's
and just to cap off on that, like Fenar and I always laugh because we're marketing out there, but we're not marketing products. We're marketing human lives, and that's inspirational. So
absolutely.
Absolutely, and that's kind of my theme for all of this is understanding what being in the moment is and actually having that awareness of all the different examples you guys talked about today, and people can see that, and when you see that, you feel that that's where all the positivity and all the good things happen, and it just keeps on expanding.
It's a domino effect. You're exactly right. Yeah. You can't help but feel it from everybody around you. You're right. Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing that I want people to take away, because there's so much negativity in the world, and we need to understand how to do that. And it's not an easy thing for all of us, but that's kind of the goal here, is to recognize that. Once you recognize it,
that's it.
There's so many opportunities. All right, last thing is I want to start with Don. What advice would you give to other companies who are looking to hire, and what would your advice be for those who maybe might not consider somebody with the disabilities, and how would you ensure, well, obviously you have all the steps in place to allow that to happen, but what would your advice be?
Yeah, number one advice, keep an open mind. Try to get rid of the preconceived stigmas that you may have. Learn throughout life, and no shame. We've all had it. Because I will say that you will be pleasantly surprised. And again, we're not looking for charity when it comes to hiring. We're bringing you candidates that we feel would be well fit for your particular position at your agency, and perhaps find a different position that you weren't even aware of that this candidate might be best suited for. So that would be the best advice.
Wonderful. How about you?
Mine would be give them a chance. I know a lot of people stop because of fear. Put that fear aside and just go through that obstacle and hire them, or just hear them out. Give them the chance, because it's surprising what these people can do and what they can do for your business.
Yes, absolutely. I love everything. I love everything that we've discussed. So, cool, awesome. So, again, I think we covered a lot of information, which is absolutely wonderful. Number one, I'm looking forward to speaking in October.
Yes.
And it's going to be a fun time. And thank you again for both of you being here. If anybody ever has any questions, comments, or whatnot, all of the information is all online. Feel free to reach out to all of us, and we'll go from there.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
First one.
This one went way faster than I thought, but you know what? We're having a good time. It doesn't matter.
All right. Keep up the great work, Jordan.
Thank you, Jordan. You're doing great.
Thank you very much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Let's see. Yeah.